Across the vast open plains of America, where sunlight spills across endless grasslands and the air smells faintly of earth and wind, millions of cattle move slowly under the sky. From a distance, they look like dark waves rolling across the horizon, a living ocean of muscle and motion. Each animal is part of something far greater than itself, a national heartbeat that has shaped both land and people for centuries. The United States is home to one of the largest cattle populations on Earth. As of early 2025, official surveys counted roughly 86 million head of cattle and calves. About 28 million of those are beef cows, the backbone of America's meat industry, while nearly 14 million are cattle in large-scale feedlots being prepared for market. Together, they represent a system that feeds not only an entire country, but much of the world. Texas alone holds over 12 million cattle, more than any other state, followed by Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. In these regions, ranches spread over thousands of acres, some so vast they have their own roads, maintenance crews, and water systems. Many of these operations are family-owned, passed down through 4 or 5 generations, yet managed today with precision technology that early cowboys could never have imagined. Here, tradition meets innovation. The age-old rhythm of herding and branding now blends with satellites and sensors. Drones sweep above to monitor movement and health. GPS systems track grazing patterns. Automated feeders deliver carefully balanced rations of corn, hay, and minerals to ensure every animal gains weight at the right pace. What once relied on instinct now depends on data. And yet, at its heart, the work remains deeply human. Every morning before sunrise, ranchers climb into pickup trucks or saddle their horses to check fences, water troughs, and calves born during the night. They work through heat, cold, and dust, not for glamour or comfort, but because this is what they know. Ask any rancher, and you'll hear a familiar phrase. It's hard work, but it's honest work. That honesty runs deep in the soil. The cattle industry contributes roughly 22% of America's total agricultural income, generating more than $110 billion annually. Beef is not just food here. It's part of the nation's identity, from backyard barbecues to the global market. Every steak, every burger begins on these pastures, but these great herds are not static. Over the last few years, the national cattle inventory has slowly declined, the smallest herd in decades. Droughts in the southern plains, rising feed costs, and changing market demands have pushed many ranchers to reduce their numbers. Some see it as a natural correction, others as a warning about the sustainability of large-scale production in a changing climate. Still, the American spirit of resilience endures. On any given evening, as the sun sinks low over the prairies, the scene feels timeless, silhouettes of cattle against the golden light, a lone rider moving quietly among them. It's a picture that has defined this land for generations. Strength, patience, and the quiet partnership between humans and nature. The scale of it all is staggering. To feed millions of cattle requires millions of tons of grain, billions of gallons of water, and a workforce that stretches from rural ranchers to high-tech data analysts. It's a delicate balance of efficiency and ethics, of productivity and preservation. And yet, despite its complexity, it still begins with the same simple truth. A calf born on a cold morning in a quiet pasture somewhere in America. This is where our story begins, in a land of open skies and endless herds. In the next chapter, we'll journey deeper into this world, inside the feedlots, the processing plants, and the intricate logistics network that moves millions of animals across a continent. Behind every number lies a story, and behind every story, a human face. This is Hands of America Discovery. If you love exploring the real heartbeat of this country, the people, the land, and the systems that keep it alive, remember to subscribe now. Our journey into the world of America's millions of cattle has only just begun. Beyond the quiet rhythm of open pastures lies another world, one driven by steel, data, and precision. This is the industrial core of America's cattle empire, the feedlot. From above, these facilities look like vast geometric patterns carved into the land, long, brown grids that stretch for miles across Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska. It's here that science meets nature on a massive scale at any given time. Around 14 million cattle are housed in feedlots across the country. Each animal spends roughly 150 to 200 days here, being carefully fed and monitored before it moves on to processing. The goal is efficiency, to convert feed into weight as precisely as possible. For every pound of beef produced, there's a delicate calculation of grain, water, energy, and time. The largest feedlots can hold 80,000 to 100,000 animals. They operate like open-air factories, with fleets of feed trucks moving along narrow dirt roads, delivering rations mixed from corn, hay, soybeans, and vitamins. Some trucks are guided by GPS, ensuring every pen receives exactly the right amount. In control rooms, technicians watch screens that track feed distribution, animal weight, and health indicators in real time. Every number matters. Feed accounts for up to 70% of production costs, so precision is survival. A few extra ounces of grain per animal can mean millions of dollars gained or lost. Sensors and machine learning algorithms now help predict how weather patterns and feed composition affect weight gain. Even satellite data is used to estimate forage quality and plan shipments between regions. Behind these systems is a web of logistics that spans the entire country. Cattle are born in one state, fattened in another, and processed in a third. Trucks move day and night, from the ranches of Montana and Wyoming to the feedlots of Kansas and the packing plants of Illinois or Colorado. In a single year, more than 25 million head of cattle pass through this network. Processing plants themselves are feats of engineering. Massive facilities that handle thousands of animals each day with mechanical precision and strict health standards. The United States produces around 12 million metric tons of beef annually, ranking among the world's top exporters. Each cut of meat is tracked, labeled, and traced through digital systems that connect back to the original ranch, but it's a far cry from the days of cowboys driving herds across the plains. Yet, the modern system still depends on the same principles: endurance, timing, and trust. Each part, rancher, feeder, trucker, processor, is a link in a chain that must move in perfect rhythm. But this efficiency comes with questions. Environmentalists point out that cattle account for a significant portion of methane emissions, a greenhouse gas about 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. To counter this, American researchers are testing new feed additives and breeding techniques that reduce emissions. Some feedlots are experimenting with methane digesters, systems that capture gas from manure to produce electricity. Others are turning to data for solutions. Artificial intelligence models now predict outbreaks of disease, optimize transportation routes, and even assess animal welfare through camera footage. The goal is not just to produce more beef, but to do it smarter, cleaner, and with greater respect for both land and life. Still, amid the machines and numbers, there's something profoundly human about this work. In every feedlot, you'll find workers who know their animals by sight, who walk the pens in boots caked with mud, who can tell when something is wrong just by the way a cow moves. Technology may guide them, but instinct still leads. As evening falls, the hum of engines fades, and the smell of feed and dust lingers in the cooling air. Under the orange glow of sunset, thousands of cattle stand calm. Each one part of the system so vast, so precise, that it keeps an entire nation fed. In the next chapter, we leave the feedlots and step into the heart of innovation, exploring how science, genetics, and data are reshaping the very DNA of America's herds, and how the people behind them balance progress with the timeless spirit of the open range. This is Hands of America Discovery. Stay with us. The journey into America's living machine continues. Behind the open fields and the rhythmic hum of feed trucks lies a quieter revolution. One that begins not with machines, but with genes that in laboratories and research centers across the United States. Scientists are redesigning the future of cattle one generation at a time. Their goal is simple in theory, but immense in practice: to breed animals that grow faster, eat less, resist disease, and produce beef of the highest quality, all while reducing their impact on the planet. For decades, American cattle breeding was driven by experience, ranchers choosing the strongest bulls and healthiest cows to pass on their traits. But today, that instinct is paired with precision genetics. DNA testing can now reveal a calf's potential long before it matures. Every gene carries information: how much muscle it can grow, how efficiently it converts feed, even how tender its meat will be. Across the industry, genetic data from more than 10 million animals has been collected and analyzed. Companies and universities maintain vast databases, tracking bloodlines as carefully as family trees. Artificial insemination and embryo transfer allow a single superior bull to father thousands of offspring across the country. In some herds, every calf's ancestry can be traced back through multiple generations with scientific accuracy. The impact of this genetic revolution is staggering. Over the last 40 years, the average American steer has become 25% heavier while using roughly 15% less feed. Growth rates have increased, meat quality has improved, and environmental efficiency has followed. What once took 3 years to raise now takes less than 2. Technology doesn't stop with genetics. Sensors worn around a cow's neck can track heart rate, temperature, and movement, alerting ranchers to illness before symptoms appear. Drones survey herds over thousands of acres, while satellite imagery monitors grazing pressure and pasture health. Even artificial intelligence models predict calving times and recommend optimal breeding schedules based on weather and nutrition data. At research farms in states like Colorado and Iowa, new feed formulations are being tested, designed to reduce methane emissions and improve digestion. Experiments with algae-based supplements and precision rations have shown promising results, cutting emissions by as much as 30% in some trials. Meanwhile, data engineers are turning cattle management into a science of prediction. Algorithms crunch terabytes of information: climate forecasts, soil moisture, grain prices, animal weights. With every new insight, the system becomes more efficient, more responsive, and more sustainable. Yet, even as technology reshapes the herd, there remains a deep respect for tradition. Ranchers know that no algorithm can replace the experience of a steady hand or a patient eye. The best technology works quietly, supporting, not replacing, the human bond between rancher and animal that in places like the Great Plains, that bond still defines daily life. A rancher might spend his morning analyzing feed efficiency data on a tablet, then spend the afternoon riding out across open land to check on calves born the night before. The future and the past coexist, silicon and soil, side by side. But with progress comes pressure. Consumers now demand transparency. They want to know not just where their food comes from, but how it was raised. In response, blockchain systems are being used to trace beef from pasture to plate. With a simple scan, a shopper in New York can learn where a steak came from, how the cattle were fed, and even the farm sustainability rating. This is the modern American herd, a blend of biology, data, and tradition. Each animal is not just livestock, but a node in a living network of science and history. And yet, for all its sophistication, the industry still faces one unchanging challenge: the land itself. In the next part, we turn from laboratories and data streams back to the earth, to the vast landscapes that sustain millions of cattle and the environmental realities that test the limits of this empire. Every story of cattle in America begins and ends with the land. From the red canyons of New Mexico to the rolling grasslands of the Dakotas, the open range is both the foundation and the limit of this vast industry. Without the soil, the rain, and the grass, the machines stop, the feedlots empty, and the system collapses, but the land is changing. In the past decade, the western United States has endured some of the driest years in recorded history. Long stretches of drought have drained rivers and reservoirs, forcing ranchers to sell herds or truck in water for miles away. A single cow can drink up to 30 gallons of water per day. And when you multiply that by millions, the strain becomes immense that in 2024, the U.S. Geological Survey reported that nearly 40% of rangelands in the Southwest were under severe to extreme drought conditions. In Texas alone, more than 2 million cattle were sold early that year because ranchers could no longer sustain them. Each dry season brings the same hard choices: keep the herd and risk ruin, or let go of generations of breeding and start again when the rains return. Water is only one piece of the challenge. The grass itself, the endless pastures that once seemed eternal, is under pressure. Overgrazing, shifting rainfall, and rising temperatures have changed plant composition. Native grasses that once anchored the soil are being replaced by tougher, less nutritious species. In the Great Plains, average summer temperatures have risen by nearly 2 degrees Celsius since 1950, extending drought cycles and shortening growing seasons that adapt. American ranchers have become stewards as much as producers. Many now practice rotational grazing, moving herds in planned cycles to let pastures recover. Others use satellite imagery to map soil health and vegetation cover, adjusting grazing intensity like fine-tuning an instrument. Government programs, such as the Conservation Reserve Program, pay landowners to rest portions of their land, allowing nature to heal before cattle return. Still, every gain comes with compromise. Feedlots require grain, and grain requires farmland. Nearly 1/3 of U.S. corn production now goes to livestock feed. The balance between feeding animals and feeding people is delicate, constantly shifting with global markets and climate conditions. Then there is the air itself. Cattle emit methane, a greenhouse gas 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. In 2025, the Environmental Protection Agency estimated that livestock accounted for about 27% of all U.S. methane emissions. The industry is responding with innovation, experimenting with seaweed-based feed that can cut methane output by up to 30%, and developing waste-to-energy systems that turn manure into electricity. In Colorado, one feedlot uses anaerobic digesters to capture methane and power its own operations, reducing emissions by the equivalent of 5,000 cars each year. In California, ranches are integrating solar panels over water tanks and barns, turning sunlight into supplemental income. Slowly, the image of the traditional ranch is transforming into something more resilient. Part farm, part power plant, part ecosystem. But for all these technological strides, the human side remains vulnerable. The average age of an American rancher is now 59 years old. Younger generations often leave for cities, drawn by easier lives and steadier paychecks. The knowledge of how to read the land, to know when the grass is ready, when the water is low, when a storm is coming, is at risk of fading away. As the night falls over the plains, the challenge feels both immense and intimate. The hum of machinery fades, replaced by the sound of wind moving through dry grass. A few scattered lights mark distant farmhouses, small islands of persistence in a sea of uncertainty. The future of cattle ranching in America depends not only on science or economics, but on balance between growth and restraint, between feeding the world and preserving the earth. In the final chapter of our journey, we'll look ahead to what that balance might become, how technology, culture, and conscience may shape the next century of American cattle, and what lessons the world can learn from a nation built on the strength of its herds. As dawn breaks over the plains once more, light spills across the same open land that has carried this story for centuries. The cattle move slowly through the mist, their silhouettes merging with the horizon. It is a timeless scene, and yet the world around it is changing faster than ever. The future of America's cattle industry will not be written only in barns and pastures, but in laboratories, data centers, and boardrooms. Every decision, what to breed, what to feed, how to manage water, and where to graze, now connects to global systems of trade, technology, and climate. America remains the world's largest producer of beef, with more than 12 million metric tons produced each year and exports reaching over $10 billion. But the real challenge is not about quantity, it's about sustainability. The next generation of ranchers and scientists faces the task of producing more with less. Less land, less water, less impact. Automation will continue to shape the future of the ranch. Self-driving feed trucks and robotic herding systems are already being tested. Artificial intelligence monitors satellite data to predict droughts and feed shortages before they happen. Geneticists are developing breeds that thrive in hotter, drier climates. Cattle with lighter coats, stronger lungs, and higher feed efficiency. At the same time, culture and conscience are evolving. Consumers are asking hard questions. Where does my food come from? How are the animals treated? What is the true cost of a steak? These questions echo across grocery stores, restaurants, and policy debates. Transparency has become not just good practice, it's a requirement for survival in the modern market. Some ranchers are turning to regenerative agriculture, systems designed to restore the land while raising livestock. Instead of fighting nature, they work with it, rotating grazing to rebuild soil, planting trees for shade and carbon capture, and restoring waterways that once dried under decades of stress. Studies show that well-managed pastures can absorb significant amounts of carbon, transforming cattle from a problem into part of the solution. Technology companies are stepping into the field, too. Startups are using blockchain to trace each cut of beef from pasture to plate. Data platforms give ranchers instant insight into market prices, weather patterns, and animal health. The goal is to connect the most ancient of human activities, herding, to the most modern of tools. But even with all these advancements, one thing remains constant: the people. The ranchers who wake before dawn, who mend fences in the cold, who look out across the horizon and see not just animals, but a way of life. Their world may become more digital, more efficient, more global. But the spirit that drives it is still deeply personal. That a young rancher in Wyoming once said, "Technology helps us feed the world, but it's the land that feeds us." That balance between progress and humility, between ambition and gratitude, is what will decide the future of America's herds. As the camera drifts higher, the scene unfolds. A patchwork of green fields, golden plains, and winding rivers. Cattle move in silent rhythm below, their trails weaving through the story of a nation. The sound of wind carries across the land, the same wind that once guided cowboys and settlers, and that now blows through solar farms and modern feedlots alike. The story of cattle in America is the story of adaptation, of a people learning again and again how to live with the land and not against it. From the smallest family ranch to the largest industrial operation, the same truth endures. Everything begins and ends with the earth beneath their feet. As we close this journey through America's vast cattle empire, we are reminded that the future is not fixed. It's built one decision at a time, in fields, in labs, in hearts. This is Hands in America Discovery, that if you've enjoyed traveling with us through the landscapes, science, and spirit of America, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more journeys into the stories that shape this land. The people, the industries, and the natural wonders that keep it alive. Because here across the Great Plains and far beyond, every horizon still has a story to tell.